another makeup tutorial today. This is how to get really nice dewy natural skin. This is perfect for if you just like to have a little bit of a glow and dewiness on your skin, but also it's perfect for things like work and school, just where you want to look natural and luminous but you don't want to be wearing a ton of makeup. So if you want to know how to achieve this look, then keep watching. So I'm going to start off firstly with using a primer. This is the Models Prefer Liquid Light Primer, and this is basically just a brightening primer. So for dewy skin, you're obviously going to want to use something that kind of gives a little bit of a luminosity underneath your foundation. I wouldn't necessarily say it's super important because you can go in with a ton of other products to make your foundation look more dewy, like your actual foundation and highlighters and stuff. So if you do have more oily skin and you're wanting like a dewy finish, then using a matte primer would be okay, but for me I want to use something that's going to give a little bit of a luminosity. So I'm going to take my foundation and I'm using the Maybelline Fit Me Foundation in 210 with the Sigma F80 flat top kabuki brush. Really like this foundation, and I know it looks a little different to the colour on my face, but it does match up to the rest of my body. I really like the finish of this foundation. It has a really nice dewy but very natural finish to it, so it's perfect if you don't kind of want something that's like too full coverage and too heavy, but you also want something that does give a nice coverage and just a really nice natural finish to the skin. So this foundation, I would say, gives a light to medium coverage. It is buildable, but I don't think it really covers everything, which is a bit of a shame because I do have some breakouts on my chin that are either hormonal or they're from my Dermasonic cleansing brush, which is like a Clarisonic. Don't really know, but obviously the clearer your skin is, the nicer it's going to look. The lighting is washing me out a tad, but I do promise this foundation does match pretty perfectly to the rest of my body. I don't know if you can see if I like go back. It does look a little orange on the camera because the rest of my body's being washed out by my lighting, but it does match, I promise. So next up I'm going to apply concealer, and this is the Physicians Formula Concealer Twins pen, and I'm just going to use the more pinkish tone. There's like a yellow toned one. I like this concealer because it is quite lightweight, so it's not super heavy, which when you're doing kind of dewy skin, you kind of want your skin to be looking as natural as possible. I just feel like that's the way that dewy skin kind of looks best, so you don't really want to be like caking on the product, even though I know it looks like it, but it is a thin consistency concealer. So I'm just going to be using this concealer underneath my eyes. I'm also going to be using it on my chin, Cupid's bow, down my nose, and on the center of my forehead. These are the areas that you want to highlight, so that's why we're putting the lighter concealer there. And I'm going to be blending that out with a Models Prefer Airbrush Contour. This is also a really good brush to use for foundation, but obviously it's quite small, so kind of takes a while to get the job done, but it really packs on the product. And I recommend this brush if you have like fine lines underneath your eyes like I do. When I use a beauty blender to blend out my concealer, sometimes I feel like it doesn't blend it out as naturally as it could, and it kind of looks a little cakey underneath my eyes, so this brush really helps to really pack in the product. Now I've just gone ahead and done my eyebrows just to save time. I'm just going to start off by taking this bronzer from the Body Shop, and I'm going to be using this in the crease, just kind of as not really a transition color because we're not going to be really using any other colors on the eyes today. It's going to be really neutral and simple. I find with dewy skin, using something that's quite like luminous and brightening on the eyes rather than kind of going in with really dark colors is the way that it looks the most natural. So I'm just going to kind of blend this, and then I'm using my L'Oreal Colour Infallible eyeshadow in Hourglass Beige, and this is a really pretty pressed pigment. It's a really nice champagne color. So I'm just going to be using this on a flat shading brush, and I'm going to pack this on all over the lid. And as you can see, it's really nice and luminous. It's just a super quick and easy eye makeup look to do, but it also looks really nice if you're wanting that really dewy, summery, natural look. So I just did that part off of the camera because I really need to like lean in close to be able to do eyeliner on myself. I'm just going to go in with mascara. This is one of my favorites. It's the Essence Lash Mania Reloaded Mascara. You can do a wing on your eyeliner if you would like, but I just personally prefer not to do that just because it's hard enough. So I'm just going to apply my mascara on. I'm also just going to apply this nude eyeliner on. It's the Makeup Studio Concealer Pen, but I'm just going to use it on my lower waterline just to really brighten my eyes up. I also really like this product for shaping my eyebrows and just kind of going around the outline of my eyebrows to really define them and clean them up a little bit. So with my powder and everything like that, I don't like to really set all of my foundation with a powder just because obviously we're going for that dewy look. It would be kind of pointless to do that. So I'm just going to be taking a translucent powder. You can also use something like the e.l.f. Under Eye highlighter, which is really nice, and I'm just going to be taking this on a Real Techniques setting brush and just using that to powder anywhere that we put the concealer. So this is just going to make sure that the entire face isn't being mattified. It's also not going to like add any extra color or coverage because it is translucent. So I definitely recommend unless you have like really oily skin, that you use something that is translucent, because that is going to set the product, but it's not going to like add any extra coverage or anything like that. So I'm just going to apply that there. I'm going to apply it onto my chin, top of my cupid's bow, down my nose, and onto my forehead. And another reason why you would want to powder these areas rather than anywhere else is because generally, unless you have oily skin all over, these are the areas on your T-zone that are going to get the oiliest, so that's where the products that you've applied is going to wear off faster, so that's why it's just good to powder those areas. So next I'm just going to take the bronzer again and a big fluffy brush, and I'm just going to apply this sun would naturally hit. So on the highest points of the cheeks, I'm going to take it up onto the temples as well, and just a little bit onto the hairline, and then I'm also going to take it onto the jawline and a little bit onto my nose. For cheeks, I'm going to use a product I don't normally use very often, and it's the Revlon Photoready Cream Blush in the shade Flushed, and I'm going to be applying this with a Real Techniques small stippling brush. Using a cream product will really help to make your skin look a lot more dewy and a lot more natural than a powder. I also find that cream blushes do tend to last a little bit longer as well, because they're kind of like staining the skin, and so that's always nice as well, especially with dewy skin. If you're not really like powdering a lot, you want something that's going to kind of help your makeup to stay on it longer. I'm just going to slightly contour my skin. You don't really have to do this, but I'm just going to do it anyway. So I'm using the NYX But Naked Eyes palette, and I'm using this brown here with the Real Techniques contour brush. I'm just going to slightly do this just to define my cheeks a little bit more. I normally suck in when I'm doing my contour because you can't see my cheekbones at all. But I can't suck in at the moment because I have an ulcer. So I just have to do this. And it really hurts. Now, one of the main focuses for dewy skin is obviously a highlight, so I'm going to be using the MAC Mineralise Skinfinish in Soft and Gentle on a fan brush, and I'm just going to be applying this to the highest points of my cheeks, just above where we put that, that blush. Do any of you guys like not really like this highlighter? Like, I bought it because there was so much hype about it, but do any of you guys actually think it's like not really that great? Like, I feel like there'd be like other cheaper highlighters that would be a little better. I'm also going to apply it onto the Cupid's bow and just a little bit down my nose and a little bit onto my temples. So for lips, I want them to be quite nude and luminous, so I'm going to be using my Maybelline Coloursensational lipstick in the shade Sultry Sand, which is a really nice nude, and then I'm going to be pairing that with the Essence XXX Shine Lip Gloss in Glamour To Go, which is a really nice kind of a beigey pink with a little bit of a gold shimmer to it. That is it. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video and you can achieve this look like I did with a really glowy, nice dewy skin. This is like pretty much my favourite look to do, so that's pretty much it. Thumbs up this video if you enjoyed it, and yeah, if you want to see more like makeup tutorials, let me know in the comments, and that's basically it, so I'll talk to you all soon. Bye.